The end of season 5 of TechTalk is approaching, and it's a tradition that we have a special closing episode. In fact, this year we have not only one, but two closing episodes. We thought it was about time you get to know our technology leaders, who, through their support, also make our podcast possible. In this episode, we chat with Thierry Kremser, partner and data and AI leader, and Frédéric Chapelle, partner who's leading the business transformation program at PwC Luxembourg. More specifically, we quiz them about their career path as well as their views on the current and future trends in technology. Ready for a genuine and enjoyable conversation? Let's get to it.
Welcome to a new episode of Tech Talk. This is episode 23, season 5. And this one is called the one on quizzing our tech leaders, Thierry and Fred. Hi Armin, how are you?
Great, but very warm.
Yeah, it's quite hot.
Yeah, well.
But you wanted summer to be here, so...
Yeah, for the last 9 months.
Yeah, so you got it. Maybe too much, but
so
yes.
What's the point here? I should just try to live with it as best as I can.
Indeed, but you are also a bit overdressed, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's because we have two superstar guests today, and I wanted to make myself very presentable.
Okay.
So we have two guests. We have Thierry Kremser, who is a partner and data and AI leader here at PwC Luxembourg. And we also have Frédéric Chapelle, who is partner at PwC Luxembourg as well, and is leading the business transformation program.
That's right. So are you ready for some personal questions first?
Yes, sure.
Of course.
Yes. So I will start with easy questions, I think. What was your dream job when you were a kid? Who goes first?
Fred, maybe you can start.
Yes, I can start. I think it's quite easy. My grandpa was medical doctor, so I was dreaming to make surgery and to make heart operations and things like that. So it was definitely medical doctor.
Wow.
But what happened in between? Well, you will tell us later.
Thierry, what about you?
I wanted to, so it's not a job that my father was doing, but I wanted to do president of France.
Wow. So you were both dreaming big. You try to fix people and you try to fix a nation. No?
Very ambitious.
Very ambitious. And what was your first job ever?
When I was young, I was working in, I don't know you say it in English, like summer camp.
Summer camp,
as
yes.
An animator of
Nice.
summer camp. So I
Cool.
did quite a number.
Quite a number of
Yes,
activities.
during summers. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That sounds fun.
That's
a
why you
fun-
have so many people
fun
skills now. That explains it.
Yes.
Yeah, like you had to learn for the most energy-consuming and demanding group. What
Right.
about you, Fred?
My first job was in an hospital, and this is why I didn't become a medical doctor.
Aha.
Yeah, because I saw so many, I would say, to some extent, difficult time for people struggling. And I was thinking that initially for me, medical doctor was just surgery. I opened, I cut, I did it, and then next one. But definitely, it's more social, very different that I was expecting. But I was 12-year-old, so it was very young.
Yes.
Maybe too young to go to the hospital to see it.
Maybe you were
Yeah,
impressionable.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right. So did you have any idea that it would, in your case, the first jobs are quite different from from what you're doing today. But how did you end up where you are today, doing what you do? Who wants to go
I
first?
can go first. I would say definitely not, because I did engineering, chemical engineering. My first job was a reliability engineer on a fiberglass plant, so really hands-on in the fiber wool. So definitely quite far from technology until I developed the first, I would say, quality database in fiberglass, and then I discovered Access, Excel, databases, and it was the beginning of my tech journey.
Wow, it was like a love at first sight.
Yeah.
What about you, Thierry?
When I finished my studies, I was for 6 months or 8 months at Air France, working in the IT department. And there I was working with consultants not from PwC, but from another company. And I discovered the job of the consulting job, and I liked it very much. And after that, I joined an IT company, but to take care of more consulting activities. And finally, I joined PwC, which was great in terms of opportunities and job and consulting challenges.
Yeah, starting your career at an airline is a very, very chaotic environment. A fun fact is I have 2,000 hours on the flight simulator because when I was a teenager, I was geek about the aviation, and actually my dream was to lead an airline company one day.
Wow.
But well, when we consult from time to time with different airlines, and whenever I work with them, I'm like, I'm gonna rethink that decision for now. And so congratulations on your courage starting career there. But do you remember your first interview at PwC, Thierry?
Yes, I do. I do remember the lady from the HR who's not working there anymore. Yeah, it was very professional interview, and I was also very clear on my way of working, my expectations, and I think it went well. Yes, obviously, because I've been hired.
Exactly.
But yeah, I do remember very, very well. Also the interview with Philippe Pierre, who is still working as a partner at PwC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Long time ago.
Thierry, sorry, Fred, what about you? Do you remember the day that interview happened and how you felt? And
I would say that my interview with PwC went in 2 times. The first interview was with Serge Bertoldo, retired pilot now, and we were in Fuerteventura together in the Sheraton. He was playing golf, and I was with my daughter. It was totally by chance. We met there, and then he told me that he was just started PwC. Technology practice, so it's more than 10 years ago now. And then he asked me if I could be interested, and it started like this. And 6 months later, I was at PwC.
Great. Well, good for PwC, definitely. What surprised you the most about PwC, about the firm?
I would say for me, it's quite easy coming from a small and medium business. It was administration and procedures. That the fact that I was not able, I would say, to chase any client because I was coming from a very commercial environment was a client. I can chase any client that I need to understand that we have restricted client and a super restricted client in some cases was something very new to me. So starting to understand this kind of complexity was not the easiest part.
But you adapted eventually.
Definitely. You have to.
Thierry, what about you? What was so surprising?
If I need to pick up one, it's the trainings. Actually, I worked for 2 other companies, and I did not experience such so many opportunities in terms of training for soft skills, for technical skills. I had the opportunity to go to the UK on a number of weeks to learn completely new methodologies and approaches around technology. And I think this is for me, that was very surprising how PwC could invest in trainings. And I think, unfortunately, that sometimes I have a feeling that people are not aware of the chance they have to have such training investments. And I see too many show off in trainings, and I think that's a pity, because in other companies, you don't get as many trainings as you get at PwC, and there you realize that you should have valued much more the trainings opportunities at PwC.
That's true. Well,
I just came back from a 2-day training, and well, it was 80% of people there were from PwC. And
really?
what was so surprising in talking to those people is actually to realize that for them that was like the highlight of the year, going to an external training, and it's something that we take for granted, I think,
Yeah.
here.
But it's a great opportunity, definitely. Do you want to take the next question, Armin?
Yes, Thierry, this one is for you. How and why did you decide to work in technology, and more precisely in the data and the AI field?
So I've always been interested in computers. When I was quite young, I had a very old computer, well, probably 1 million less power and computing capacity than every phone on the market today. But I liked it very much. I started to do some programming, and I had courses, that I was doing as a hobby, learning programmation. And then I did study mathematics, a lot of mathematics. And so at the end of the day, working in technology and especially in data and AI, which is combining the two. I mean, data and AI is a combination of mathematics for the algorithm and the programmation. So for me, that's
The perfect job?
a perfect job. That's easy, yes.
What about you, Fred? Why technology?
I would say it came quite naturally after my studies because I was working first on a chemical plant, but then I moved very quickly to developing an ERP. And this is the place when I was able to see, I would say, the way we can modelize a company on a technology in a systems and the way that it's operating live in an ERP. So it was a clear combination of kind of business knowledge, but also tech knowledge, because this is also what I like in this technology practice, is the combination of the business and the technology together. So it was quite obvious for me that this was another way to do, I would say, the follow-up of my studies and being very applied on the technologies. Yeah.
But you also have a passion and expertise for sustainability, right?
Yeah.
How come?
But because as I was chemical engineer, so already 25 years ago when I finished and I completed my studies, it was already quite important regarding environment. And I was already looking to this. Even on the ERPs, I was one of the first doing a project on sustainability 15, 16 years ago. It was really the early beginning, and I keep moving in that direction since then. So it's something coming quite naturally. This is something that I work with since really a long, long time.
Okay. I had no idea. It was Armin who told me.
Yeah. I know that you're very, very active on a number of very exciting projects in that field. And I want to link that also to listeners of this podcast who may be contemplating a career at PwC. So what's your advice for young people who want to pursue a career in technology that you wish someone had given to you back when you were starting?
I would say that they have to have a kind of strong curiosity. They don't need to be shy to look to new technology, new solutions, because when I look back what was existing only 10 years ago, what existing today, what will exist in 10 years, it's going so fast. So what is probably the most important for them is to have curiosity to pick up, because today, Thierry and I, we are already quite old boys for new technologies coming out of university. We are not acquainted to everything, and it's going so broad and so fast that probably this kind of curiosity is something the most important for us to be able to some extent reinvent our business. Every 10 years, the way we are working in technology, even faster now, is changing. 10 years ago, cloud was quite limited. In 10 years, I think cloud will be cloud is already everywhere, and probably we will go much more in digitization and virtualization in the coming 10 years. Yeah, clearly.
What about you, Thierry?
I agree with Fred on the curiosity and the need to learn all along your career. But for me, what is important as an advice is not to forget the soft skills part of a job, of technology jobs. I think in today's world, you need to have a lot of communication skills, written communication, oral communication skills, And of course, you need to be able to explain your arguments in a very structured way. So the analytical skills or mindset is, I think, very, very important.
Yeah, I guess that's the number one thing that we see when people join PwC is that it's usually the biggest gap that they have to bridge is in the communication skills, especially in a consulting business where you have to make sure that your message comes across and lands in a place where you want it to land, right?
Yeah, our expectations are high on these matters, but what I can see also is that when people sometimes leave PwC to work at clients, they tell me afterwards that their communication skills are very, very high when working at the client, and so they get a lot of opportunities and fast career development because they are able to communicate, to report, to challenge, etc. And so I think on this, PwC is a very good school.
That's true.
That's a good segue into another question. Perhaps more importantly, what should you not do?
But for me, it's the opposite. It's to be only a geek, huh?
Only focus on the technical skills.
Yes,
Makes sense.
and believe that everything else is not your problem. No.
Yeah, maybe I will complement to be not too narrow in your domain of expertise, because 10 years ago the guy was super good in BlackBerry. 1 year later, no more BlackBerry. So it's very important to not to be blindsided and to be really. I will compliment. Thierry is totally right when he's talking about soft skills, because this is through the soft skills that you are also opening your mind to technologies, but other area like communication. Because if you are just a super expert in a very small domain and nobody knows, it's very difficult for you to make to embrace a very desirable career. Yeah.
Okay. And if you were not a technology partner, what would have been your calling?
Yeah, we say president, huh?
President.
Yes.
President for you?
No, for you. You said
No,
it was a dream.
Monsieur le
Yeah, but I
Président.
changed my mind. I think I don't have the mindset to embrace a political career. No, for me, I think I could be a teacher, maybe, or I could work, in technology, but for clients.
What would you like to teach?
It's a good question. I'm getting also the number of things I can teach are maybe
Soft skills?
reduced. No, soft skills or things around consulting skills. Consulting skills.
Great. What about you, Fred?
I would say that I will remain in the consulting, maybe kind of business angel for startup or new tech. But definitely in the consulting. I started in the consulting just after this year in a plant that I'm really passionate by the advisory and consulting in general, and in operational companies at the most.
It's actually amazing how, if you look at the university's curriculum, consulting is a subject that rarely appears, and it's not something that students really learn on how to be a good consultant. And also I think the same goes for people who are the buyers of the consulting services. They don't really know outright how to get the most out of it. So it's really a process where that every time we work with the client, we have to both educate the new joiners, but also in a way for the client to realize the maximum benefit of our cooperation.
So, can I ask this question, Armin? Because I really liked it.
Please go ahead.
So, if you could invite 3 people to dinner, living or dead, who would you invite? At least one person. If you don't
I
have
have the
3.
names. It's very easy.
Okay.
Adele, Barack Obama,
Okay.
and probably Voltaire.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Nice. That's a nice dinner.
Yes.
I propose the 3 following names, Frédéric. The first one is Michelangelo. I try to mix to get an interesting discussion. So a bit like you, Fred. Michelangelo, then Albert Einstein, And finally, indeed, I wanted a singer, and I chose Billie Eilish.
Oh,
That would
nice.
have been a discussion.
Yes, I like it. I like these choices. Definitely Barack Obama would be on my list as well. What about you, Armin?
I think I would have chosen a philosopher, and I would have maybe go for Michel Foucault. I'm really like a big I'm very passionate around his work, but I would have chosen three incarnations of him: the one when he was young, the one when he was middle aged, and then the one where he was shortly before he died.
So
And
you
I
would
would
have him, but in three
in three
different.
instances,
Okay, I
and
see.
then I'd
Wow.
like to see how, because I think, and that's also the whole point of his work, is that there is no one true self, and that you as a person are constantly evolving. And that's also what when we work with our clients, we also try to pass this message that also the organizations are constantly evolving, and that you only exist at one point in time, and so on. And I would like to see the discussion between the three Michels, and what would they say to each other.
Okay, all right. Well, I had to read Michel Foucault during my bachelor.
Well, thanks to pandemic, that's the thing that I managed finally to read.
Oh. Okay, shall we move to the technology-related questions?
Please, fire away.
Okay. So, what's one technology you wished could exist when you were a kid that exists now? Who wants to go first?
Except Nintendo or something like that. That's.
I think when I see my son, I think the one thing that I was missing when I was young, it's a mobile phone. Huh?
Right.
I think
But
it's
still-
it has clearly changed the way we live, we communicate. But I mean,
That's true.
That's
But we
Is it-
survived without it. I don't know how,
Yeah.
but we did.
Maybe it was better without. Maybe. I don't know. But still, if I were to choose, I think mobile phone is one.
But I think at the end of the day, it's a technology. So it's how we use the technology, how we choose to. So it has a lot of advantages, but it's up to us humans to have a healthy relationship with it. So what about you, Fred?
As I was a bit a gamer on that time, extended reality and metaverse, having a second or a third life on the metaverse, was something could interest me on that time. A little bit less today because I'm not that sure that I want to order a pizza on the metaverse and getting the guy coming at my door. But yeah, maybe on that time I could be interested by the metaverse having a second life and maybe some avatars living somewhere. Yeah.
Wow. And if we move to the present moment, what is the one thing you wish could exist but doesn't at the moment? Except flying cars, because we already have those and they're called helicopters, everyone.
Well, but not everyone can have a helicopter.
Thierry.
Yeah. So I would choose a clean technology. I mean, we need to solve the issue of CO2 emissions. And so I was thinking about, the hydrogen to use for replacing batteries with hydrogen. How do we say hydrogen?
At power cell, hydrogen
Power cell.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a great clean technology, producing only water, and very powerful, easy also to probably to refill.
Yes.
Easier than electricity. So yeah, I think hydrogen is my choice.
I'm more disruptive because I'm looking for nuclear fusion. So the next step on the nuclear, so transforming also with the water, because here it's the opposite. We are transforming water in hydrogen and oxygen. So definitely, yes, it's the nuclear fusion because it can bring electricity forever. And in addition, it's definitely non-carbonated. So you will not get any more the issue of the carbon. And if you can limit the size of the plant, you can have also on the large vessels. So probably this is also a solution, but I think we still need 50 years of research and development before getting it live. So maybe the hydrogen that Thierry is proposing is midterm is probably more realistic than mine.
Yeah, and it's already reaching some adoption in, a lot of companies, especially in aviation, have announced the use of hydrogen. So it is receiving a big push also in the funding to get us there. And number of countries have also thrown their weight to be the hydrogen producing country.
Can I take the next
Yes,
question?
please.
Okay.
Mhm.
As you know very well, and you already mentioned it as well, the world of technology is changing and evolving like in a blink of an eye. What is one trend in tech over the past year you would like to highlight? Fred?
I would say with the 5G and coming the 6G smarter devices. So we have already autonomous car, but also I think also to intelligent robot that can ease some heavy work for human beings, and to have to some kind of intelligent robot working alongside the humans. I would say like a kind of collaboration for very painful and heavy tasks. I think this is something is more and more coming, and I think that this will keep moving quite fast when we see 5G specifically as an industry. Yeah, clearly.
Thierry, do you have a one trend that you would like to highlight?
Yeah, I would like to talk about AI, obviously.
course.
No, but there are very interesting use cases around AI. For example, in medicine, AI can help doctors to cure cancers. It requires a lot of information, data about all the possible treatments for cancer. It evolves very rapidly, and AI can help analyze the data and make recommendations with regards to the best treatment for a particular case. Another one could be around autonomous vehicles. AI could really help, and is already helping, and it's developing very, very fast. But in terms of security, to avoid collisions between vehicles, to optimize the traffic. I mean, there are plenty of cases of AI.
Yeah, indeed, to improve the safety and the quality of the life.
Yeah.
And then if we look into the future, and if you could put your crystal balls on the table, what do you think will be the next big thing in the tech in the coming years?
Quantum computing.
Quantum computing.
Yeah. So to really, really get access to a much more computing capacity, and that will completely revolutionize our computers and the calculation power that we get access to do AI, for instance, but also other things. We would get access. It's very important in terms of security also. So quantum computing for me is the one thing that is going to change our life.
And we don't know exactly how yet. We have some rough ideas, but until we get that technology on and great minds get to use it, then we will see a lot of use cases, I guess.
This one we have the same answer, because I do
Yes.
believe as Thierry. Yeah. I was looking also to some analysts, and Forbes too is putting quantum as the first one. Yeah. But
So
we
let's
still have
see.
few years to wait, because we still don't see exactly how we will make it material.
Cool. But that was a great ending to this episode. I really want to thank you so much for taking the time actually to join us. For the listeners, we just want to let you know that it was really not easy for us to get the two superstar guests in the room at the same time. So really, I hope you appreciate the effort we went to make this happen. And I hope that you really enjoyed listening to this episode. And Fred and Thierry are open for any questions that you might have of them. Feel free to connect to them on LinkedIn and explore any opportunities that you would like to see.
Thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you today. And this is TechTalk.
Technology made simple over a cup of coffee.
You hesitated. What about, I know, Fred, you were here, I don't remember what was, beer maybe? Because you're Belgian? Was it? Is that your drink of choice?
Wine.
Wine. Aha.
Wine. Oh.
This is a stereotype, right?
Yeah,
The beer.
definitely.
Yeah.
No, I'm much more on wine. And we are starting to develop rather good wine in Belgium.
Oh.
Yeah, we are improving. Yeah,
Thank you, global warming. Huh?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Vineyard is already coming soon, earlier every year, like in Luxembourg. Yeah?
What about you, Thierry?
Wine.
What is wine as well?
Red wine.
You are very much aligned. That's why.
Are these tech
we
characteristics?
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.
And that's all for today. This is Tech Talk, technology made simple over a cup of coffee. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode.